I'm leaving. I've assessed the situation, and I'm going.
Where are you going?
Just leaving.
But where?
I have to return some videotapes.
Welcome to the Perfect Movie Podcast, the podcast that needs to return some videotapes. I'm Michael.
I'm Kalen.
And today, in our continuation of Number Go Up November, we're covering American Psycho from the year 2000.
Is this a Donald Trump biopic?
It is not. I know because he keeps asking, hey, is that Donald Trump's car? Hey, is that Ivanka Trump?
That's actually a really good
Patrick Bateman?
Patrick Bateman impression. Paul Allen.
Let's see Paul Allen's card.
Oh my God. It's a watermark.
American Psycho, like last week's episode, Wolf of Wall Street, is another movie based on a book. Although this one, fiction. Written by the author Bret Easton Ellis, which had a really troubled launch. It was one of those 90s morality scares in association with the writing and release of this book.
Sure.
His first publisher dropped it and would refuse to release it on matters of taste.
I can imagine the book is far more gratuitous.
It's probably more gratuitous, but it's also, it was mostly just the fact that it was a serial killer, living in Wall Street. But eventually it was released and was very popular. It got optioned for a movie, but it seemed like a book that was pretty much impossible to adapt.
Okay.
A lot of it occurs within the mind of Patrick Bateman.
Right.
So they were pretty confident that a movie would never come out of it. The first people attached were David Cronenberg and starring Brad Pitt.
Wow.
Which would have been a very different movie.
I think that would have been great.
It could have been great, but here's the thing that happened.
Some body horror?
Is then they hire the author, Bret Easton Ellis, to write the screenplay, but David Cronenberg's suggestions for the script are that you need to eliminate all the scenes that are in diners and nightclubs because they're a pain in the ass to film.
Okay.
And I probably only want one kill scene.
Cronenberg said this?
Yeah.
Interesting.
To which the author's like, well, I don't know what the hell you want me to write. That's like the whole book.
A movie about a serial killer.
It's like the whole book. So he just kind of went rogue and wrote what he thought was the best adaptation he could make of his movie.
That's fascinating.
And Cronenberg said, nah. And
Brad Pitt might kill that role.
I think, well, it's funny because Brad Pitt at that time is also a nobody. Christian Bale at the release of this movie is pretty much a nobody. I think it could work. I think it would be pretty different.
Wait, hold on. Brad Pitt in the 90s?
Yeah.
Was not a nobody.
I think at the time of early 90s, he's not a nobody.
Cronenberg. Okay, I guess I'm mixing that up with the release of this film.
No, I think the book came out in the early 90s, and it took
Okay.
many years for this to really form.
Okay.
But they were the first people attached, and at that time, I think he'd been in some bit parts, but he was not like a person you're going to put on the marquee as a leading man.
In some alternate universe, this exists, which is amazing.
And could have been pretty cool. The director, Mary Harron, who I'm not really familiar with a lot of the rest of her movies. They haven't really made an imprint. She made this movie called I Shot Andy Warhol, which seems pretty popular.
This is one of her only films that was relatively reviewed positive.
Yeah. And Christian Bale, they are fired and rehired. There's many actors that are more popular than Christian Bale that are up for the role. Like Leo was at some point cast for the role as well.
This is not a debut for Christian Bale, though, correct?
I don't think it's like his screen debut. I think he's been in other stuff, but as like minor roles, you know, like cashier number 6 and whatever, you know.
Right.
This is definitely his first leading role and anything theatrically released, I believe. But they just kind of like met each other and connected and felt that, like Mary Harron felt that he was the man for the job.
He's perfect in the role.
And he's perfect in the role, and I love his performance so much. So yeah, it was just kind of a troubled path to get it released.
That is really, interesting.
What is sort of your history with American Psycho, Kayla?
I first saw this movie years ago, and it kind of weirded me out. It was one of those movies, kind of like how your first viewing of Event Horizon was.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that for me, where I was like, this movie is kind of disturbing, and I don't really like it.
Yeah.
But I was also young and didn't get it. This is the reason why, this and Wolf of Wall Street is the reason why there's ratings on films.
Yeah.
Kids should not see R-rated films. Why? Not only because it's too much for them, but they also are not going to get it. You know what I mean? They're going to have a very sullied view of this film. But I went back and watched this for the first time recently, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
It just, the performances are so good in this, especially Christian Bale. He has such this like dead, like emotionless character to his character that is so perfect, and it's like it's just really somebody who's just completely dead on the inside, and I think it's so masterfully done, and he emotes so well. One of my favorite scenes probably in cinema. It's definitely in like my top 10 all time is the card scene where they're showing cards. That scene is the writing in that scene is so great.
Now let's see Paul Allen's card.
And just the pure rage that's boiling in Christian Bale in that scene in Bateman, like you can see it, and you can see it on his face. He's sweating. Like, it's just so good, and the comedic like aspects of it really work too. Like when he's talking about Huey Lewis and the Blues.
Huey Lewis in the news.
In the news, I mean, when he's talking about that to Jared Leto and he murders Jared Leto, I love that scene specifically. I
specifically love when he murdered Jared Leto.
Yeah, and that's why I love the scene in Fight Club when he gets his fucking face beat in too. 'Cause fuck Jared Leto, that guy's a piece of shit. But anyways, yeah, I say all that to say American Psycho is like one of those hidden gems that I'm glad I discovered relatively late in my life.
Yeah, I kind of had the same path where I saw it at some point as like a late teen, and I really didn't understand it, and I was just like, that was weird. You know? I was like, I don't know what that was. That was crazy. He dropped a chainsaw on that one lady. Whoa.
Why is he like killing people?
Yeah. Why does he care about cards? And yeah, I rewatched it recently, and I was like, oh yeah, this is like kind of my jam, which I think makes me sound like a little bit of a psychopath, but I love a big performance, and this movie's full of big performances, but not just big, like I do love a Nick Cage movie, but Nick Cage movies are usually big and wild. You have no idea what he's going to do next.
And you also have those psychological aspects to Nick Cage movies too, where this guy is like obviously not all there. There's some like underlying things. Is it in his head? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, and these movies are big. I mean, American Psycho is big and dialed in. Yeah. Like it's locked into place. Everything is perfectly kind of arranged. Every line is said exactly how it needs to be said, and they're big performances, and everybody's acting a little over the top. Yeah. But it's not like harebrained, scatterbrained everywhere. Right. In the way it's made. And that I really appreciate, and just kind of the combination of that. It's almost like it's a weird comparison, but there's many like Coen Brothers scenes where it's like like the dialogue is specific and the performance is so specific that it makes it really entertaining and funny in a way that shouldn't like outwardly be laugh lines.
No.
It's the way that people are behaving and the way the lines are delivered that really sort of like makes it satirical.
And like, so if you compare this movie with like Wolf of Wall Street and the romanticization of Wall Street that happens in Wolf of Wall Street. This movie is complete opposite.
Yeah.
This movie like takes Wall Street and makes it like a sterile kind of clinic, like clinical nature to it, where everybody is like a carbon copy of another person, and it makes things very interesting in the analysis of Bateman as a character and his role and how he sees himself, because he's just a man that hates everything, and but he's like engaged to the Legally Blonde girl,
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, he's engaged to her. It seems like his life is set up for success. Like he has everything that he could want, and it's all laid out in front of him, but he's still so deeply unhappy. And like that rage and that hate that boils in him culminates in these like dark fantasies. And I just love this as like a analysis, like a character analysis, putting yourself into the mind of this person and like kind of picking their brain apart. I almost see this movie as like it's treating its audience as like The Shrink, and as Bateman as like this guy laid out on the couch just spilling all his dirty thoughts to us. And yeah, I just really love that aspect of it. And if we're going into performance test,
it was the performance of a lifetime.
Christian Bale's performance is amazing. Probably one of his best performances of his career. Just the charisma and the disdain for life. It's just so evident in this character. I love it. I don't really know how else to explain it.
Listen, what's your name?
Al.
Speak up, come on.
Al.
Get a goddamn job, Al. You got a negative attitude. That's what's stopping you. You got to get your act together. I'll help you.
You are so kind, mister. You're kind. You're a kind man.
It's okay.
I can tell. Please, you gotta tell me what to do. You gotta help me. I'm so cold. I'm hungry.
You know how bad you smell. You reek of shit. Do you know that? Al. I'm sorry. It's just that... I don't know. I don't have anything in common with you.
Oh, thank you, mister. Thank you. Are you all right? I'm cold out here.
You know what a fucking loser you are?
What?
Yeah, Patrick Bateman. Like one of the first things we see with Bateman is him going through his like morning care routine, which ends with the facial mask, and he peels the mask off himself, which is just like the most like whack you over the head metaphor for like the mask is slipping. Like humanity is his mask, and the mask is slipping on him.
Yeah. As
this movie goes on, he's becoming less human and more just like this manic monster.
Like a product. He's a product of capitalism.
Yeah.
And just like this this thing that's shot out of this machine, which is Wall Street. And that scene in particular is kind of hilarious because if you put like a lo-fi beat over it, it becomes like a YouTube tutorial video.
It becomes one of those like TikTok my wake up routine videos.
I put my facial mask on and
yeah.
my moisturizing cream. Yeah, but that scene is brilliant. It also showcases his like OCD, where it's like everything has to be planned to a T, and that goes towards his eventual murderous spree that he has.
Yeah, and there's a lot of just... It's so funny with Bateman because I guess we're kind of stepping on, hey, what are you trying to say? But it is unclear whether these murders are fantasies. It's kind of written and shown to be unclear whether these murders are fantasies or real by the end of the film. So there's all these little hints that maybe Bateman is not this serial killer that you think he is, or not as like exacting as he wants to be. Because one of my favorite little tropes with him throughout the course of the movie is the man is terrible at making excuses.
Yeah.
Every time he makes an excuse and says, yeah, I have a dinner somewhere, the other person goes, that part of town? Kind of far away, huh?
Yeah.
Like the man just can't come up with a plausible excuse whenever given the opportunity.
Right.
And it just kind of plays into the sort of the theme of like these rich assholes aren't smart. They just know what they've been told to consume. Because like every other scene is people at a dinner. They're talking about reservations. They're talking about getting into these, nice nightclubs and bars. And the new suits that they have and the watch. And now let's see Paul Allen's card. And it's all built around. And, like, that is his mask of humanity. Like, that is, like, if I can pretend to be interested in these specific things, I will fit in.
Right.
It's sort of the thesis of this movie is when he's trying to ignore his girlfriend to listen to Huey Lewis in the news or something on tape in the back of the limo. And she's like, you're miserable. You hate that job. You're only there because your dad's the owner. Why don't you just quit?
Right.
And he's like, because I want to fit in.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like his driving animus. And he needs to fit in so he can be this wolf in sheep's clothing that is maybe murdering these prostitutes
Right.
and various women
Right.
and just various individuals like the man laying on the street over the course of the movie.
Right. And the fact that if whether or not he does these things doesn't really matter.
No.
In the grand scheme of everything. Like I was saying, it's just really like a it's just a view into his brain and what he fantasizes about, and also his disdain for everything and everyone, and how he's just deeply unhappy. Mm-hmm. And I think that also speaks to a lot of these like oligarchs that we see in real life, where it's like kind of what I was explaining last episode, where it's like the most dangerous rich person is like a bored rich person, and it's just like and what they're capable of because of the tools they have at their disposal, basically. But anyways, let's get on to some more characters.
Shall we shout out Willem Dafoe, your boy?
My boy.
As the private investigator investigating Paul Allen's disappearance?
Hold on. In honor of Willem Dafoe, drip check real quick.
Good.
What's your name and where you from?
Willem Dafoe. I'm from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is in the house. Stop playing on them.
I'm from Rome.
Okay. Shout out to Rome. Oh, we see your fit. Describe it.
What I'm wearing?
Yup.
Prada shoes,
Prada.
Prada coat,
Damn.
T-shirt,
Okay.
a green Woolrich sweater.
Damn.
Hey, what are you wearing?
What's your If you give anybody
And
my fault.
I didn't tell you. I didn't finish here.
Okay, my
And then
fault.
something else. I don't know what it is. You tell me.
What is that? What is that?
I don't know.
If you get hold up. If you give if you give anybody a style tip, what would it be?
I wouldn't do that. I would never give anybody a style tip.
Drip check about Willem Dafoe?
Drip check about the entire film.
Oh. Is that Givenchy?
Everybody's got the nice fitted suits, right? Mm-hmm. At one point, he wears a like raincoat, very stylish. The apartment's beautiful, very sterile.
You remember when he's, again, a terrible criminal. If he's a criminal, he's in Paul Allen's apartment with the two girls, and she's like, "This apartment's better than your other one," and he's like, "It's not that nice."
That's okay. That's another great aspect. How he keeps getting like confused with as Paul Allen, or people are comparing him to Paul Allen, and it's so great.
Well, yeah, because everyone, like you said, is a carbon copy of each
the other. Yeah. There could be no Paul Allen either. That's
Right.
the whole thing. Like, or he might even be Paul Allen. That's It's weird. It's weird.
Like when he, and this could be seen as an alias, but when he's kind of on his final spree, that one security guard goes, "Hey, Mr. Smith, back again," or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he just shoots him for recognizing him.
Well, I think that, like you're saying, Paul Allen is the mask that he puts on, and like the Patrick Bateman is the true. He's the monster.
And I haven't read as much, but in my mind, it makes total sense that this performance is what makes Christopher Nolan go like, I think that guy can be Batman / Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
I mean, Bruce Wayne is a psychopath.
he is.
He fights people at night, brutally beats them at least.
Yeah,
and he's a rich recluse,
Right.
who doesn't really enjoy the trappings of his wealth.
No.
There's
He's deeply sad.
There's a lot of Patrick Bateman in Batman.
Oh my God. What if Batman is the Joker? I almost kind of see. Actually, it's funny because Heath Ledger's Joker is kind of reminiscent to Patrick Bateman as well, mannerisms wise, and like his tone is pretty similar. I almost wonder if Heath Ledger kind of was inspired by that character a little bit. Anyways, some more characters from American Psycho.
I mean, Jared Leto as Paul Allen, he's a small part, but he's like the animating focus of a lot of this movie because he has Bateman has this sort of disdain and jealousy for Paul Allen.
Right.
He does have those slightly nicer things, like his slightly nicer apartment. He can get that reservation to that new place.
Yeah.
He just is the guy that's a little bit above even his little stodgy, very materialist friend group that he has.
Right.
This is a real beehive of activity, Halberstram. This place is hot. Very hot.
Listen, the mud soup and charcoal arugula are outrageous here.
Yeah, well, you're late.
Hey, I'm a child of divorce. Give me a break. I see they've omitted the pork loin with lime jello.
We should have gone to Dorsia. I could have gotten us a table.
Nobody goes there anymore. Is that Ivana Trump? Jeez, Patrick. I mean, Marcus, what are you thinking? Why would Ivana be at Texarkana? So, wasn't Rothschild originally handling the Fisher account? How'd you get it?
Well, I could tell you that, Halberstram. But then I'd have to kill you.
And Jared Leto also, I was like, God damn, he's been around for a while. Mm-hmm. I never really realized that. The one good movie that I actually like his performances in is Requiem for a Dream. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's him and Marlon Wayans play like, it's basically the American version of Trainspotting.
Yeah, I've not seen it just because I know it's really sad.
Yes, it is. It's very depressing. Reese Witherspoon, fresh off a rom-com in this one, and she is just so oblivious to everything. It's pretty hilarious.
Another very telling thing is at their like final dinner or brunch where Patrick's like, I don't feel any connection with you. You're just not that important to me.
Yeah.
He's trying to dump her. She's like, I'm sorry I brought up the wedding. Let's just pretend it didn't happen. Like, let's just ignore that problem. That these people are just like covering themselves in their fancy dresses and all their money things to ignore their actual problems.
Right.
Justin Theroux plays Timothy Bryce, who Patrick Bateman describes as the only interesting member of my friend group, who's just like, of all of them who are all tools, is the most outwardly tooly tool of all the tools.
He is.
He's the guy that freaks out because a guy hops over the little divider in the bathroom and goes, "Hey man, be quiet! I'm trying to do drugs over here."
Yeah. Who's the one that's kind of gay for Patrick? Is that Lewis?
I think so. Yeah, Lewis Carruthers.
Yeah, played by Matt Ross.
Yeah.
That's a great scene in the bathroom.
When Patrick Bateman's going to strangle him, and he goes, "Patrick, oh,
I didn't know you noticed." Yeah, it's a small cast, but everybody has a moment, and it's great. Let's move on.
To
It's an Art.
It's an Art, where we talk about aspects of the filmmaking process, like sets effects, lighting, shot composition.
What's this?
It's an art project.
Okay, I like it. Picasso. Yeah, that way.
Where did you want to start, Kalen?
I want to say, again, the movie's very sterile, very clean, especially Patrick's apartment, because he's obviously got severe OCD, and everything is pristine and perfect all the time. But I like that. I think that it's very in service of the character. And really, you just have a bunch of small sets. There's nothing too grandiose in this. There's a few shots where he's out in the street, in some seedy alley at night, where he murders a homeless man and a dog. R.I.P. the dog.
R.I.P. the dog.
and the homeless man, obviously. But the dog was
But
shocking.
yeah,
I will say.
it's a pretty classy approach. It feels very, like you said, sterile. And then the soundtrack is punctuated by just like the shittiest 80s pop
Yeah.
money could buy. Because once again, this movie, like the whole movie is kind of a representation of Bateman's mind.
Right.
And he's a consumer and he consumes and he knows to consume only the shittiest pop. And I love all his little tirades where he's, explaining the music. In Whitney Houston's self-titled Whitney Houston, she goes into this and that and whatever.
Well, it's amazing because it's the only thing he truly shows any kind of emotion towards.
Yeah, but it's also like he's just repeating something he read in a review somewhere.
Right.
You know, and he's like, my favorite might be, from Huey Lewis and the News, might be Hip to Be Square.
Right. But it's the only thing you can really show, like he really shows any kind of passion for, other than maybe murder.
Yeah.
But it almost seems like he doesn't even really care about that either. I don't know.
It's definitely true. Like he speaks with some passion about music, and I just think of like when I used to have a girl over and talk about music, and I'm like,
damn, you're just such a fucking
I'm just
Patrick
a-
Bateman
just a
serial
Bateman.
killer.
and their bodies are in my closet.
Oh my god! What do you mean, Michael? We just redid your apartment. Your dad paid for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just a lot of nightclubs and restaurants, and it never really outwardly says it, but you kind of get the sense that it's kind of shitty here. Like whenever they shoot
Yeah.
the food, I'm
Yeah.
like, that looks gross.
Right.
That looks tacky. That looks terrible. It's got this, yeah. Once
It's
again,
just enough to feed the machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Like, and then also too, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say too, like the shots of the close-up shots on Patrick's face are really great as well. You can really like see the emotion and like that inner turmoil that he has. And there's a lot of scenes of him just looking at himself in the mirror too, which could be like kind of cliche for serial killer stuff, where it's like, I'm looking at the monster.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But I think like it's just him overanalyzing himself and comparing himself to everything else, but also like his picturesque personification of like perfection that he believes he is. You know what I mean? Like where it's like, my body has to be perfect, my face has to be like, I have to go through 7 routines in the morning to get my face just right, kind of thing. Yeah.
and the movie,
The details.
the movie kind of trains you to these little Bateman asides where every once in a while he'll just like yell something really angry or say something really like upsetting and vile.
Yeah.
But it's clear that that is not what is actually being said in the scene.
Right.
That is his internal monologue like coming out and being spoken.
Yeah.
He does it right away to the bartender who rejects his tickets and tells him it's a cash bar now.
Yeah.
And
Or
when
what does he say to Reese Witherspoon? He's like, never wear that dress again, or something like that, or like, that dress looks terrible on you, or
Yeah.
something. He says something like that, but she doesn't react to it.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, and it's all, a lot of this is all, once again, built to get us in sort of the Bateman mindset and sort of craft this sterile, austere, and ultimately empty and hollow experience for himself. Like his prison is being surrounded by a bunch of like-minded, empty people.
Yeah. Also, there's like something with anatomy as well. Obviously, like serial killers like have a fascination with human anatomy, and I feel like that's the same for Patrick as well. In his like little doodle book, he draws a lot of pictures of like women who are in these different poses, but who are dissected, all this kind of weird shit. But then he either acts it out or doesn't act it out in real life, where it's like a lot of body art kind of thing. I think that adds to like the sterile factor too. It's very clinical in like a surgery post-mortem kind of thing.
Yeah, and the movie's also obsessed with Bateman's body because we get a lot of
shots of him fucking or
showering,
and he'll be like
sweaty workouts.
Yeah.
There's the chainsaw scene where he's just running around in nothing but sneakers.
Yeah.
It's and Christian Bale gets super jacked for this.
Right.
Also ready made for Batman. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all well made, and it just makes me wonder what these other Mary Harron movies are like, because I wonder if this is kind of her style, but it just happened to fit with this subject matter.
The subject matter, yes.
Because there's some of like some of the Office sets have like very obvious backdrops that are just, you know, like a poster of New York City
right
back there. But it doesn't bother me because everything is so sort of like staid and clinical, and everything already feels a little bit off. So it's okay that we feel like we're almost in a set right now.
Right.
You know? Because everything kind of feels not quite real.
Yeah.
And just there's a great usage of, especially in like the Willem Dafoe scenes, of just, let's take a pause in this conversation and watch each other's faces.
Yeah.
You know, watch Bateman, like, I don't know how he did it, but during their dinner together between Dafoe and Bateman, the way, as he's getting more and more worried that he's going to be found out that he's been lying about, you know, the murder of Paul Allen, he just gets this vein popping out in the corner of his head that is just like some either Christian Bale superpower, just super lucky that he was doing something to look so shook.
Well, I mean, it's the same with the scene with the card scene. Like, I don't know, like Bale is able to like make this like, he just looks like he's gonna like fucking crash the fuck out. And he the way he talks to her, it sounds like he's about to cry. And he's like, let's see Paul Allen's card. You know what I mean? It's just the subtle like little details of that performance just make it so good. And it's just perfect. But yeah, I think the movie isn't necessarily, like we were saying, grandiose, especially when we're comparing this to Wolf of Wall Street. But it's very effective in the way it's shot, and the way it looks, and just the overall feel, the atmosphere of everything.
Yeah,
works very well.
All part of a piece. Should we go on to, hey, what are you trying to say?
Yes.
Take it away whenever you're ready.
All right, let me just get that last measurement on your
Thank you. You know, I need this for the wedding.
Okay, well,
I need it really quickly. Like
it could take about a week to do.
It could take a week? So, what are you trying to say? He's trying to say that I'm so big, my bum is so big, you need to order to various countries far away to get enough material to make a pair of pants so I can fit my incredibly obese buttocks into a pair of your specially made little suit.
No, I mean, I'm the only one working here this week.
Oh, okay.
One of the notable differences between this and Wolf of Wall Street is you never see anyone do any work.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
They all just show up in the office and start planning lunches and dinners.
Yeah.
Nobody does anything, and it's like very unclear why anyone is getting any money to do anything.
Well, I think it's alluded. I mean, they're all trust fund kids who just got these jobs because either their parent owns the company or is friends with the owner. You know? Patrick Bateman's dad is the head of the company. So it could be very much well be that they just sit around their office all day dicking around, you know?
Or like when Bateman gets on the phone to pretend to be busy with Willem Dafoe, but what he's talking about, he's like, no, you wear brown shoes with a blue suit. You know?
Yeah.
It's all about wearing a suit that fits your body type.
This movie is very, very nihilistic. And just the outlook on life. I was telling you off record that the scene that really chills me to the bone is the ending monologue where he's just talking and he's like, my pain is constant. And I desire no goodwill I desire, what did he say? Now I got to look it up.
This is after Bateman has gone on a spree. He's made a hurried confession to his lawyer, who, when he meets this lawyer in person, seems to not recognize him, thinks he's a different guy, and just completely dismisses his confession to all these murders. Like, on the phone, he says, like, I killed 20, maybe 40 people, and I may have eaten some of their brains. Dabbled in some cooking.
That's another scene too where he's just sweaty. Yes. And
Yeah.
it's so great. He says, "My pain is constant and sharp, and I do not hope for a better world for anyone." And that line particularly very, like, it's really stuck with me, and it just chilled me, because if you think about, like, this guy has everything, but he had, like, he just has no goodwill at all. He doesn't want a better life for you. He doesn't want a better life for me. He doesn't even care about his own life. So what does he have to lose? Nothing. He can do whatever he wants because he has the means to do so. And, like, that right there is, like, it just explains everything about these fucking rich assholes. Again, like what we were talking about last episode too, where it's like, these guys don't care for you, so why do you support them? They don't care about changing the world and making it better for anybody, even though they have the money to do so. They could end world hunger if they wanted to, but they don't want to. They don't care.
Right.
And, like, that to me, it was just like the one line that's just like, that explains you, all of them.
And before what you read, he says, "My confession has meant nothing."
Yeah.
Like,
they laid it all out to bear for everyone to see.
Yeah. Like, our president, is that Donald Trump's car? Our president has said I could shoot someone in, like, Central Park, and nobody would give a shit.
Nobody would bat a fucking eye.
Nobody would care. My supporters would still support me. And this is where I think we can maybe get into the fact that you can read this movie literally and in multiple different ways. So towards the end, it gets kind of surreal. Patrick Bateman's first thing that gets really surreal is he's at the ATM once again, and then he sees a little cat and he picks it up, and then all of a sudden the ATM screen says "Feed me a cat," and he, like, pulls out a gun and points it at the cat, and then an old lady goes, "Oh my god!" and then shoots the old lady, and he's on a spree and he's shooting at these cops, and all of a sudden inexplicably their cars explode, and, like, things get more and more surreal and strange as that sort of culminating in his phone confession to his lawyer. And then the next day he shows up at Paul Allen's apartment to try to clean it up, because that's kind of been his kill zone.
Yeah.
That's where he's been storing all these bodies, and has multiple people he's murdered recently that are there. And it's clean and it's pristine, and a woman approaches him and kind of implies, "You should go away. This has been taken care of."
Yes.
And it's left very vague. And later we see his notebook, which has, like, drawings of basically every killing that we've seen and lots of just, like, gruesome things in it. And you can read it kind of one of two or three ways.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, so let's analyze that a little bit more, particularly the notebook. So, actually, the one who discovers the notebook is the receptionist lady,
who's, like, the only girl he ever lets go.
Yes. And she really liked Patrick.
Well, we're doing what the
Paul.
characters do.
She really liked him, and she wanted to date him, whatever. But she discovers his notebook. And so it's kind of alluding to that either she, like, told somebody, or she tried to contact some kind of authority, and that it's being covered up on some Illuminati shit. Possibly by his father's company, or his father himself.
Yeah. I kind of took it as actually what did that was his call to his lawyer.
That's what it was, too.
And the lawyer just takes care of it.
Yep.
You know, some, like, fixer guy, like, at the end of Pulp Fiction just shows up and cleans up the mess and makes everything disappear.
Yeah. And that kind of, to me, alluded to as well, where, like, this kind of stuff must happen often.
Right.
Or they've known about Patrick for a while now, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can either read it as some of these murders are real and there's a break with reality towards the end, because it just doesn't seem to really seem to me like, as particularly like the exploding police cars is kind of like the big signal of, like, this doesn't seem real.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can read it as all these killings are fantasies that are being portrayed in this notebook, and he's just like a sick-minded individual who is not actually harmed a person.
Right, but these are his fantasies.
But these are his fantasies, or you can read it as this is all literal, and his money is protecting him in ways that he's not even really fully comprehending.
Right.
Or really understanding.
Right.
But, he's protected. He's of that class where, he's too big to fail.
Right. Either way, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter.
No. Because
it's chilling no matter what.
It's chilling, and then it's just consumerism, capitalism, all the above. That's what it is. It's the analogy for it, where he consumes, and he ends up being like a man-eater. You know what I mean? Where, like he was saying, like, I ate some of their brains too. Like it's just, this is what happens, and there's victims of this ism.
Right, and like these guys getting 6 or 7 figures to do nothing, like that's costing someone somewhere. It's like probably violence towards someone somewhere.
Yeah.
In its own way.
Yeah.
Even if it's not him literally chopping up the bodies of prostitutes at his apartment.
Right.
Even if it's not him literally killing Paul Allen. And I think one of the other things it says, this movie is saying, with the fact that everyone keeps confusing him for other people, is that like you said, all these people are the same and, carbon copies, and they all desire, like he says, I want to fit in. Right. They all desire this conformity and this little game, this constant game of just little minutia of one-upsmanship that only means anything to the people within that circle.
Right.
Because me, personally, I don't know if you got Givenchy or, whatever designer on.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me, and it's all expensive as hell.
Right.
Like, but to the people in that inner circle, like, that is their little Olympics, is like who can get the best, dinner reservation.
It's the cutthroat, the lifestyle of that is and if you think about like, these corporations and like people on Wall Street, even in Jordan Belfort, what do they do to get ahead? It's always at the expense of somebody else, or trying to, like you were saying, trying to one up somebody, whatever. But Paul Allen, Patrick Bateman, whoever, they really just represent these young men who are basically have no real, they have no real plan for themselves, or they have no real purpose in life. Especially these like upper to middle class young men who are thrust into these roles in society and told to act and look a certain way, and this is the outcome. It's incel behavior, essentially.
Yeah. And there's many lines that just kind of sum up this movie, but there's also the little conversation they have. There's like the goths that are complaining about something, and then Justin Theroux goes, well, yeah, what about the genocide in Sri Lanka? And then Christian Bale goes like, oh yeah, there's many more things and more important than the genocide in Sri Lanka. We have to feed the poor. He goes on this whole like very humanist tirade that ends with and materialism, to which Justin Theroux like has a spit take in his glass and starts laughing because he's like, Patrick, you're funny. You're funny. You're funny that you're acting like you care about any other fellow human,
right.
Society at large,
right?
The homeless, the needy.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing as like an actor getting up on stage and talking about save the ozone. You know what I mean?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Fuck off. Yeah, let's move on to Let the Hate Flow Through.
This is where we're going to air out our annoyances and our complaints.
Good. Use your aggressive feelings, boy. Let the hate flow through you.
I really don't have many complaints of this movie. I would even say the violence is relatively tame as well. There is some like not necessarily shocking imagery, but there is a few moments that are kind of like disturbing.
When she's like running around the apartment, the one prostitute, and she's finding all the bodies, or like when Bateman opens the fridge and he has just like one cup of sorbet and a head in the fridge.
Yeah.
But it is actually like it's like some of those early slashers, which have the sort of you think of them as these bloody, gory things, but American Psycho isn't that bloody and gory. There is some of that, but a lot of it is just what's alluded to.
Right.
Like, we don't watch Paul Allen get chopped to bits. We just see the blood splatter on Patrick's face as he looks more and more crazed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of withholding with that oftentimes, except for a few specific moments.
And I think that's fine. I think like you didn't need it to be over the top.
Yeah,
Like,
it doesn't
you
need to
didn't
be a
over the top kills or different things like that. No.
Yeah, we don't need like dangling appendages and screaming and yeah.
This is more of a psychological thriller than a horror film, I would say. I think it is labeled under horror, but
yeah, I would like. It's not really like a. I agree, not really a horror movie. I don't have a lot of complaints. I think a lot of people, if you're not tuned to the frequency of this movie, you'll just be kind of alienated and maybe a little bored.
Yeah.
It is a specific thing. And, but while some people may not quite get it, it's not like a Starship Troopers or a Wolf of Wall Street where they can walk away like getting the wrong idea.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
he's a fucking serial killer.
Right.
Probably.
Right.
So, you got to be a real bad guy to be like Patrick Bateman.
But then again, though, too,
there is those people.
You do have like the base memes with Patrick Bateman's face or something. I sent you gifs yesterday with Patrick Bateman where it was like based and he's got the sunglasses on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's definitely like the Joker archetype.
Yeah,
which sucks. Cause why? Like, because he's handsome and he wears a suit and he is a straight white male. That's pretty much it. And it's just interesting. Yeah. I just think our society is so fucked, man. Holy shit.
It's a mad scramble to the top.
Young men are in crisis at the moment. And I believe that like a lot of it is due to just this incel culture and like the desire to be seen but put in no real work for it, and to be it's just nihilism. That's what it is. It's a cultural nihilism, and I just think it's a shame. And I think that movies like this really highlight like the flaws in that type of thinking. And I just hope people get some therapy, man.
Who's the bald guy that has to live in Romania now because he had a bunch of sex crimes?
Andrew
Tate. Patrick Bateman, same guy.
One and the same. Yes,
one and the same.
Absolutely. Jordan Belfort, one and the same.
One and the same.
These millionaires, billionaires, whatever, they're not your friends. Okay? And I think that's like the one thing that we need to start really looking at. It's like these guys are the bad guys. And we need to recognize that. And I think, too, a lot of these podcasters and these people who support and endorse these people are not helping at all. And they're grifters, and they should be publicly shamed. Let's just put it that way. I don't mean to get on this like tirade, but I think it's important to be said. And I think movies like this can be taken out of context, and that's what really sucks about it, because you're really missing the art and the true message.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to be a terrible person to be a man. And that seems to be like what is sold a lot. Like you need to be like more strong and more disregard women and treat them as objects. And,
yes. And you need to make money. And
you need to have tons of money.
You need to do that by any means necessary. You need to walk and steamroll over everybody, you know, and that's what they believe is the mark of manhood. It's unfortunate, and it sucks, and it's depressing.
On a brighter tip, shall we ask our final question? Is this a perfect movie?
You lost a baby brother. Perfect in every way.
I had a baby brother. I had a little baby brother. And it was perfect. Perfect in every way.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because this movie didn't review well. It's actually sitting at like a 67% on Rotten Tomatoes at the moment.
I think it's like Starship Troopers.
It's like a cult classic.
It's a cult classic, and it's something that the people in the moment, a lot of them struggled to get it. Even though it seems so blankly obvious to us today that like the satire of it all, I feel like a lot of people were probably just like, what's with all the nudity? What's with all the violence? Why are we following this awful man do awful things? And why did he get away with it?
Yeah.
Same thing people said about Wolf of Wall Street, you know?
Right.
And it's like, you're missing the forest through the trees right now. Like, step back and look at the whole picture.
This is why dumb people shouldn't watch movies. Let's just be real.
Start handing out IQ tests to open up Netflix.
You're right. No, honestly. And then the worst part is they put their terrible takes online for everybody to see. And that's the shitty part.
But American Psycho is a perfect movie. It's going up in the Pantheon.
I'm not a big fan of like artsy fartsy movies, and I would probably put this movie in like an artsy fartsy category, especially with the like ambiguous ending and just the overall like dreamlike quality of the entire film. But this movie is a standout to me as far as like, wow, this is art that works. And
I think it's saved by Christian Bale's like the Bateman performance. I just find moment to moment so entertaining. Like almost every line rating kind of makes me giggle. You know?
Yeah.
I kind of felt the same way when I went recently to a screening of The Shining, and like there's a lot of Jack Nicholson Shining kind of in Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
Just the like wide-eyed looks and just the I'm saying words like this, you know?
Here's Johnny.
Windy, love of my life.
Well, I think that's, again, like Heath Ledger's Joker. Same kind of deal. I think he's memorable because of his cadence.
Yeah.
And the way he used to say things. And, Patrick Bateman, a very underrated...
Put him in Fortnite.
Yeah, no, I mean, they probably would, honestly. They have a fucking Art the Clown and then the killer from Black
Art
Phone.
the Clown is crazy because those are genuinely some of the most like vile gore fests of movies. And you're like, hello, 10-year-olds, learn who Art the Clown is.
And then here's a child killer.
Yeah. The Grabber.
Fortnite is going off the rails. So
Grabber, I hardly know her.
That's what Patrick Bateman would say. Yeah. Some really iconic scenes, too. The scene where he's going over his morning routine, the Paul Allen murder scene, super iconic.
The scene where he's flexing while having sex.
Iconic.
Yeah. A lot of memorable moments.
Iconic and based.
And yeah, I plan to become more and more like Patrick Bateman year after year.
Next time I see you, you're going to just have a deadpan look. You're going to be completely like clean shaven and slick back hair.
I start with a
card.
Then I apply a mineral wash.
Oh my God. It's a watermark. The soft egg white.
Wait, I just had another Shining to American Psycho connection when he's filling out the crossword, and it just says like dead meat everywhere.
Yep.
It's just like Jack Nicholson's writing, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. For page after page.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Did it hold up?
It's definitely got the 70s thing where things are paced slowly, especially like the like beginning, like sort of like they spend a lot of time introducing the hotel, and wandering around the hotel, being toured around, and that's like it's not till like the 40-minute mark that they actually like are locked in,
right?
You know, and in your modern movie that'd probably be like 20 minutes,
yeah,
and that feels long. But once all that starts spiraling, I think it's holds up really well.
Have you heard Shelley Duvall's like experience filming that movie?
That it was pretty like intense and negative.
Yeah, she had a terrible time, and she was like psychologically scarred from filming that, because of what's his face, Stanley Kubrick was like terrorizing her.
Yeah, and I think because just his filmmaking style is usually doing all these big takes, and what she's asked to do, especially in the last like 40 minutes of the movie, is a lot of like very physical screaming and yelling and running.
Right.
And big
and
emoting.
It had to be just right.
And you're going to do that 40 times, and I'm sure it's just exhausting to have to do like a harried cry or a harried run up the up the staircase holding that knife.
Stanley Kubrick is interesting, and I think we need to do some of his films soon. We should do Apocalypse Now, and then we should do what's the one with Tom Cruise?
The
Illuminati one.
The Illuminati one. His last one.
Quiet, silent something. What's it called?
I'm picturing
Stanley
it.
Kubrick.
Phantom of the Opera. Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut. Yes. We should do those because every single movie he's ever made, he had like a terrible time making it, and he kind of hated filmmaking, and it kind of makes you wonder, why did you even do it in the first place? And then like his mysterious death because he was murdered by the Illuminati kind of thing. There's some interesting stuff with him. Apocalypse Now, I actually wrote a paper on in school, and that's a fantastic little piece of cinema history.
So big fan of that movie. Also, The President.
Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Oh, he did not get that movie.
He did not get that movie
He
at
did
all.
not get that movie. He watched that movie and he was like, Venezuela, we're coming for you, baby. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Well, we will be continuing Numbers November with more stories of rich men.
See you next time on the Perfect Political Podcast.
Goodbye.
Now, John, you've got to wear clothes in proportion to your physique. There are definite do's and don'ts, good buddy, of wearing a bold striped shirt. A bold striped shirt calls for solid colored or discreetly patterned suits and ties. Yes, always tip the stylist 15%. Listen, John, I've got to go. T. Boone Pickens just walked in. Just joking. No, don't tip the owner of the salon. Okay, John? Right? Got it.